I'm Cynthia Mulligan at Queen's Park, where the Patrick Brown controversy took yet another turn today. The former PC leader went on Facebook and essentially challenged his two accusers, the two women who accused him of sexual misconduct, and told them to go to police and have charges laid. And of course, those allegations forced him to resign from his office. Patrick Brown also took on CTV, the network that first broke the story, calling it totally false. And he said, especially after he said it was a malicious and false report, after CTV acknowledged that one of the accusers was not in high school and was not under the legal drinking age, as was initially reported. Now, CTV is standing by its story and says Patrick Brown's allegations regarding our reporting are false. Now, this all came up in my sit-down interview with leadership candidate Christine Elliott today. Here is part of our conversation. If Patrick Brown can clear his name and put these allegations to rest, do you think he should be the leader again?
He's already resigned as leader, and I think that.
Do you think that was the right thing to do, though? Was it too hasty, and did all of this balloon out of control too quickly?
Well, I think that it was really unfortunate for Patrick that there were two women who came forward, which they're entitled to do, with allegations, but they're anonymous allegations, and I truly believe that Patrick deserves the right to clear his name. And I know that he's working on doing that very hard, and that should his name be cleared before the next election, then I would certainly allow him to run as a candidate. I think that what's unfair is that Patrick did not have the chance to state his version of what happened.
Do you think that victims should automatically be believed at every turn?
No, I don't think so. I think that it depends on having all of the relevant information, and I think that everyone should be entitled to state what happened in their view, because sometimes accusations come forward that have no basis. So all of the information needs to be known. But I do believe that women should feel free to come forward with allegations that, not allegations, but ideas about what's happened to them, and they should do so without feeling shamed or have things swept under the carpet. I think that things should be open and transparent. Everyone should have the opportunity to state their views.
Now, we touched on many topics. I also asked Christine Elliott about the carbon tax, which she has promised to get rid of. But I asked her how then she would find the $1 billion a year that tax is supposed to bring in. She said she would look for efficiencies and promised she would not create a new tax to fill the gap. And the race is on to pick the new leader of the PC party in time for the June elections. Christine Elliott is one of 4 declared candidates. She was an MPP here at Queen's Park and says she should be the new leader because she has the most experience. Now, one of the issues that's coming up in this leadership campaign is the controversial sex ed curriculum, which angered many on the more conservative side of the party. Here is what Elliott has to say about what she would do with it. Are you going to blow it up?
I'm not going to blow it up, but I would like to open it up. I do believe that we need to have a sex education curriculum for our children in schools, but I've heard from many parents that believe that these guidelines brought in by the government were not founded on consideration with them. Parents understand what things that they want their children to learn at what ages and what's appropriate for them, and that's mostly what I've heard from parents, is the age appropriateness of some of the items in the guidelines. I would like to sit down with parents in various parts across the province, speak to them specifically about what their concerns are, and then make changes where necessary. So,
how much of a hardwire balancing act do you have to do to appeal to the hard right within the party? I mean, it seems it's tricky because Ontario is not a hardcore right. They're sort of more a moderate base, I believe, or the majority, and which is why we've been liberal for the last 14 years. But you do have a segment of your party that is much further to the right. So do you have to really delicately maneuver this
and how much say do they have going forward?
No, I think it's important that we listen to the views of all of the members of the party. There are
you
many
comfortable with
different
a hard right stance, though?
I am very comfortable with the views of a number of people who would call themselves social conservatives. I certainly agree with things like changing the sex ed curriculum where necessary to make sure that we could have free votes on matters of conscience and morals. I have no problem with allowing members of caucus with our candidates to express their views. I think that makes us a stronger, better party, because then you have a 360-degree look at issues, and that helps you to make better decisions. So I'm not afraid of that at all.
Now, this Friday is the deadline for signing up new members. Then Christine Elliott tells me she's going to go into persuasion mode. The new leader will be announced on March 10th. Doug Ford, Caroline Mulroney, and Tanya Granick-Allen are also in the running as declared candidates. And you can watch our entire interview with Christine Elliott on citynews.ca, uncut and raw.